Buy or sell Dynasty offseason edition. And today we have Amari Cooper. A lot of talks about this guy moving forward with the Dallas Cowboys or not moving forward with the Dallas Cowboys. 2021, 68 receptions, over 100 targets, 865 yards, 8 touchdowns, missed 2 games, wide receiver 27. Zach, if Amari Cooper stays on the Cowboys or if he leaves, are you buying or selling Amari Cooper?
Okay, so we're going to bring this perspective from not knowing that just yet, right?
100%.
So I think that there's a window of opportunity here with the unknowns to buy low. So I am buy under certain conditions if I'm a win now team, okay?
Right, okay.
If I'm futuristic, then this doesn't really make sense for you, okay? But for me, I actually view him as an ideal buy low if I'm a win now team, right? He is 27 now, will be 28. So there is still a lot of good years left for Amari Cooper if you're a win now team. By the way, in 2021, he did finish as a wide receiver 27, missed 2 games, under 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. The conversation was Jerry Jones being upset at the lack of production.
He was
but
the guy.
me being confused why they would say that when they didn't prioritize him in targets or in the offense.
Right, okay.
So here's what's become glaringly obvious to me. Amari Cooper will not be on the Cowboys in 2022.
Right.
Okay. Now, I could be wrong, but 80% of me says there's no way Amari's a Cowboy. Like, this is just not going to happen. We've heard rumors that he will be released.
Correct.
No one's going to want to take that contract on at this point. They want to negotiate their own contract. So, number one, change is coming. When we look at this situation, change is coming. As a betting man, I like the risks associated, the risk-reward factor here with Amari Cooper on the unknowns of his situation, okay? If he's released from the Cowboys, he instantly, and I mean instantly, becomes the most sought-after free agent wide receiver in this class. He probably becomes a top 3 free agent in the class for people to go out and pursue. I promise you, so many teams are going to be really, really wanting his services, right?
Right.
In my eyes, he's 28. He probably gets a 3-year deal. I think that's something that's definitely on the table for Amari Cooper at this point. So you think about it, well, yeah, he's going to a new team, but the offense is potentially going to be worse. There's a huge possibility that he is in a less efficient offense. We have to be aware of that. Yeah. However, there is a guarantee, in my opinion, that the target share would be much higher as the team who signs him probably is going to view him as their wide receiver 1. Right. I mean, that's the money that's going to take to get Cooper on the team, unless he goes the route of, I'm going to sign for a team and try and win a Super Bowl, right? And take some pay cut.
That could be one.
And in that case, he's probably going to be on a good offense and have a similar target share. So you're not going to be in a worse position. But I wanted to talk about his targets this year and just look at his targets per game by each year, okay? This last year in 2021, he had 6.9 targets per game. That was wide receiver 27 was his finish, okay? 6.9 targets per game, wide receiver 27, had the same amount of targets per game as Michael Gallup. I mean, to me, I love Michael Gallup. We know he's talented, but that's so disrespectful to Cooper. You got to be kidding me. You're telling me that the wide receiver 3 on the team, and Gallup could be a 2 on most teams, is getting the same targets as Amari Cooper? Something does not make sense here. Something doesn't add up. In 2020, again, quickly, 6.9 targets per game last year. The finish, wide receiver 27. In 2020, 8.1 targets per game, okay? Wide receiver 15.
Right.
So more targets, higher finish. In 2019, 7.4 targets per game, wide receiver 10 finish. So that would lead me to believe that even if he's in a less efficient offense, the target share would probably be better, which means that he could probably finish higher than what he finished this year.
Right.
And if I'm getting Amari Cooper and he's even a top 20 wide receiver for the next 2 or 3 years, I'm good with that as a win now team. Like, that is a good flex option for me on a week-to-week basis to win games, to get me into the playoffs. And the last thing I'll say is, this is a guy who has proven production.
Yeah.
No one should be questioning if Amari Cooper can do it on multiple teams because he's already done it on multiple teams. All right. 5 years, over 1,000 receiving yards on his career, averaging 6.5 touchdowns per year, even in the down years. So for me, Cooper is a buy. He's a really, really great buy low in Dynasty if you're a win now team. Where do you kind of sit on this?
Yeah, now as you were selling it, I'm thinking, I'm going on the perspective of trying to sell as high as possible because I'm on a, futuristic team. So if right now I am holding.
I'll just quickly say though on that,
Okay.
because I had him and I tried to sell him. It is very, very hard. I just want to quickly preface that.
Right,
It's hard to sell him for value.
I sold
You know
him,
what I mean?
sold him
I'll
for
just
first.
quickly say that.
I sold him for a late first.
Okay.
I think it was 109 or 110 earlier this year.
Okay.
But yes, at the moment I am holding and selling at the right time because I think his value is at an all-time low right now because the question marks are there. They don't know. Gosh, it's a fly. They don't know if he's going to be continuing at Dallas or going to another team, and all depending on where that team goes. Okay, I think if he does go to a team, it's not going to be a high caliber team, and that's the hope. As somebody that is a free agent, like Zach was saying, you hope that maybe he takes a pay cut potentially, goes to a high caliber team like the Chiefs, the Ravens, Bengals, Chargers, Rams, maybe even Cardinals. But because of Kyler Murray, but then you think about all the mouths that you have to feed: Tyreek, Kelsey, Hollywood Brown, Mark Andrews, or OBJ, Roberto Woods, Cooper Kupp. Then you'd be like, okay, well, actually, there's too many people to go there. So you actually want him to go to a low end quarterback team.
Like imagine him on the Jags. I feel like that would be great. That would be guaranteed targets.
That would be interesting. But then I question, well, is Trevor Lawrence really going to bring it, or is Trevor? There's so many different questions, and I think I just want to avoid it. I want to avoid the risk.
Okay.
I want to maybe invest in a younger player and move forward from there. I agree. We know what he can do. He's a production. He is a true alpha wide receiver, in my opinion. No matter where he goes, he will be a wide receiver one. But do you want to just wait? Do you want to, okay, let's wait. Let's see what team he goes to. Okay, hypothetical, Falcons with the whole Calvin Ridley news. Kyle Pitts, Amari Cooper, Matt Ryan. Okay, well then,
amazing.
Is Matt? And then the question is Matt Ryan going to be there for a long period of time? Who's going to be the quarterback? There's too many questions that I think I would just rather avoid in a general sense of wherever he goes. So unless he goes to a high caliber offense, but then that's maybe different. But for me, I would just once again risk aversion. I would like to sell as high as possible once I know the team he's on, because then you can sell the situation. Hey man, Amari's on this team. He has this quarterback. He's going to be the wide receiver one. He's going to do this. There's no doubt about it. So if you can hold and then sell once he gets a new contract or gets on a new team, then maybe you can get a good return. And
I guess that only works in your favor if it's an unfavorable destination. So I guess there's risk on both sides.
100%.
Like if you're buying now,
100%.
you're buying at an all-time low because of the unknowns. If you buy later, the situation is more known, and who knows what the price would be. So I guess it really just depends on where you kind of sit on that. And I had Amari Cooper in a league. Maybe the difference of when did you sell Cooper?
I sold him before, I think after the Super Bowl, a month after the Super Bowl, around there. Okay. Yeah, so that's when I traded him away, and I got if I'm not mistaken, the 109, the 110, like I said, in one of our follower leagues.
Yeah, for me, it was impossible to sell him. No one wanted Cooper. Right. No one wanted Amari. They didn't want him because of the bad year. They didn't want him because of the age. They didn't want him for multiple reasons. No one was wanting to invest into Amari Cooper. So I guess maybe that shows, if anything, a big volatility in his value around different leagues.
Yeah.
For me, I would have even been happy getting an early second in 2022. I mean, I was just, he completely didn't fit my mold. So I guess that made me believe if you are a win now team, I think it presents a really good buy low. So if I am buying, I think an early to mid 2022 second could get the job done. I don't think a lot of teams are wanting to build around their future with Amari Cooper. And I think you could take advantage of that. So obviously there's a timeline here on relevancy for him in Dynasty, but it won't set you back as a win now team to go out and trade, a mid second round pick. It's only a 50% hit rate at that point anyway.
I'll tell you the team really fast, or the trade. So I traded away Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy, and I got Nico Collins, and the 109 and the 110.
Well, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, because it was a package. It was a package deal, exactly. So essentially, I got Amari Cooper for a first, Jerry Jeudy for a first, and I got Nico Collins in exchange because I was going to a really young team, even though Jerry Jeudy is young. But I figured I'll just take a chance and see what I can get at the end of the first round moving forward.
All right, let us know. Are you buying or selling Amari Cooper. Comment down below.
Yo, what's good? Thanks
up?
for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.